Okay, so it's very early in the morning, and so I actually am going to film the patrol cars going up and down the street, but I have to turn it round the wrong way, and because it's very early in the morning. See, there's someone in that vehicle and there's a plane coming over. I hope I got that in, because when I'm filming I turned it round the other way. Before I was, like it's the sun has just been up a little while, but as you can see the patrol cars are on this small dead end street as soon as the sun comes up, and the planes have been going before the sun come up, every 30 seconds over the roof, or every minute, but one also patrolling round, so it's like every 30 seconds that you have a patrol plane, and of course you hear them, so you've actually got that sight and sound almost continual. The whole purpose of this controlling anti-human, anti-life program in the inner west section of the city of Sydney is really about keeping you transfixed and connected to their transhuman mind, human to mind, human to computer technology the whole time. See, that's the whole purpose of it. See how this is a small dead-end street and the sun has only just come up, and it's a wet, miserable morning really, and yet we have all these cars coming onto the street. And they don't live here, so figure it out. Now we have a small truck coming on, which will be part of and it will pull right in front, of course. It will do its manoeuvre right in front, see? And then the other patrol car backing around. Oh, it's going to back right in front of me, I think. Well, there we go. That's just, all these manoeuvres are set traffic manoeuvres everywhere you go. So it's going to back right in front of me and come literally into where I am, as you can see, literally. And while this is backing in front right in me, the plane is over my head. Plane straight over my head, the vehicle literally coming right into me. This happens everywhere I go in the suburb of Leichhardt, where I am right now, in the city of Sydney. Everywhere I go, day and night, and it's just continual. So that's how you know that it's not natural or normal traffic. Whereas if it was just, now and again, or even one vehicle doing it once a day, you would say that's possibly normal. But when it is like every vehicle and they're surrounding you and patrolling you, you know it's a patrol. But also they show you that they are somehow against you, because they they make the negative road rage sounds at you, they beep their horns at you. Every vehicle, every bus, every semi-trailer makes unnecessary noise, like it's not normal mechanical vehicle sound. It's deliberately done by the actual, the actual drivers. And these drivers are a different type of being, or a different type of human being. But they're actually, because I have to use words to distinguish the difference, they're actually not human beings. They're android beings. And that's essentially the main difference. In other words, they have the equivalent, and are indeed, psychopathic, malignant, narcissistic, paranoid, controlling beings, all in a human body, because all those qualities that I mentioned sum up their need to patrol, their need to watch, and their need to, push you down. Because if they weren't that, they wouldn't do that. And they have to watch you every second, just like their patrol system. Even the plane system has to be in my ears and in my sight all the time. Another patrolling plane in my line of sight, but the mobile won't pick it up. That's the circling plane. So the one goes over your head and the other one circles around in your line of sight, and that was also a patrol van that just went down to the end of the small dead-end street and then doubled back and went away. So is that not patrolling? If you loiter down a small dead-end street, all these vehicles loiter down a small dead-end street and then turn around and basically waste petrol. See, this is the same van, or a similar van, coming down. See, as you can see, the same white van or a similar white van. And it's going to do the same thing. See how it slows up in front of where I am? Right in front. And usually they'll park right in front of you, they'll pull in front of you, they'll pull out in front of you, they literally, and when they park, they always, if you're walking past, they always park and trail along with you, just like all the traffic comes to an almost standstill, where you have traffic jams literally around you most of the time, where there should only be a few vehicles in these particular parts of the road where I go anyway. This is another thing, you actually know this because you know there's no reason for congested traffic in most of the areas where I actually go. And I only go to a few streets usually. So we have the patrolling vehicle. See how it's stopped and lurking around right in front of me? Can you see? I'll just show that if I can. But I shouldn't be filming this, but I'm just going to film it today, just here, because it's very early morning, so there shouldn't be vehicles. But, see another vehicle coming onto the small dead-end street will patrol down to the end and then double back. Let's just see what it does. There we have one there, and then we have the van stopped right in front. They're both stopped, as you can see. Can you see that? Stopped in front of my line of sight. This one stopped in my line of sight, and now we have the jet army aeroplane coming over my head. Straight over, and the moon is in the sky up there. The moon is up there. See the moon? I'm actually intimidated when I actually put the camera on the actual workman. See how that patrol car just patrolled around? See how it stalls in front of me, right in front of me? Did you see that? How it stalls? How they slow down and stall wherever my line of sight is. See, I'm looking there, so it's slowing up and stalling everywhere I look. Like it's literally connected. Their technology is literally connected to my body. So I'm being part of their transhuman program, which a lot of people don't realise is being put into experimentation, shall we say, at this moment on isolated, at a disadvantage human beings, because I can't stop it. The technology's in me, and their computer system is in operation around me, and it activates all these beings around me. It activates all this anti-human program around me, because they're extracting my energy even as I speak, because you're very nervous and very, you know, if I wasn't filming, I actually feel very trapped and very confined, and you know, they're literally squeezing the life out of you, because they are what you call energy vampires. See how in my line of sight, you won't see it, but in my line of sight those vehicles down there are just stopped down the bottom there. Now whether they will double back and come back will be depending on whether they want to show, but actually they're manoeuvring around down there. And there we have the androids, just, you know, they pretend that they're random natural people, but see how that vehicle is just backing in and out over and over again. That's another thing, the actual vehicles manoeuvre and take an hour to park, so that basically they get your energy and take your attention. And see that definitely doubled back, as you can see, patrolled, and now we have the plane. I'm not sure if I'm getting these planes in. They're right over my head, and they go all over the roof of the place every minute. You know, and they go all day and half the night. But usually they like to go over the roof, particularly if you are asleep. Yeah, the actual army android workforce is already at this early time showing me that their presence is around. I don't know if the mobile's picking up all the banging, but it's only light banging because they're not using machinery. But everything they do, they have to make a lot of sound, and it's always aggressive banging, mechanical sounds. Even the actual android civilians, this is a known thing, and this is what I certainly have experienced over the last 7 years. You know, they talk excessively loud. Sometimes you can hear their conversations inside the house if they're outside on the street, and when you walk past them on the street, or even if they are a distance away, they're literally shouting at one another, because they're attention energy vampires. That means that they take your energy by those negative sounds, even just verbally. and that's the very least of it. But they usually say psychologically damaging remarks as they pass, and you know, everyone talks as they go past, and you always hear particular words that are relative to you, because don't forget, the powers that be have psychologically studied me and any other human, so that they can then psychologically disturb your mind, really, because it's always something negative. There's never any pleasant or positive frequency and vibration from any of these android beings in this suburb. And because they've all combined, it's like having a systematic patrol system of, you know, 100,000, or actually more than that, systematically patrolling and bringing their negative energy and taking your energy from you. And the energy they're extracting from you, as has been pointed out, is also your very it's also negative energy from you, because they don't like high frequency or positive energy, so they keep you unhappy and stressed and always in a paranoid, depressed state. You know, how can you be paranoid and depressed at the same time? Well, it's very hard to describe. Okay, so the planes have stopped playing possum. They because even though they probably, well, they don't care if I film it anyway. They do care, but they don't care because they know that there's no audience, and there's so therefore no one is going to be influenced by what I say, because the demigods will say what I'm saying, because they will be your end game. You know, what they call the opposition, or the pretend opposition. In other words, they will pretend to be the truth tellers, because although they will tell the truth, that's always been Lucifer's ploy, I believe. You know, you don't seduce and deceive people unless you give them truth and something that human beings want and need. Human beings are not easily deceived. So you have to have a mastermind, very clever, very deceptive being that has studied and understands the human mind, and also studies personally particular humans, because they're reading your mind with the transhuman element. See how these cars are stopping right in front of me? See, two of them, they're actually crossing paths. It's the changing of the guard there, the changing of the android patrolling guards. See how it's going to pull right in front? Right in front. No, it's not even going to pull in. Is that not an obvious patroller? Pulled in right in front and then pulled right out. Stop right in front of my eyes. Watch this one here. Watch it. Watch it. They don't care, because they know that I can't do anything about it, and they laugh at me even recording it. In fact, look at that. Two cars right in front, one after the other, pulling right in front of me as though they're going to park, and then they will pull out right in front and double back and go back down the small dead-end street. That is a total patrol control system of me, because they're basically just showing you what they're doing. And they know that they have the upper hand, because they have the whole system in place. Not only am I connected to their system, but they're connected to it, so they're able to do their patrolling and their, you know, their necessary need for the energy, and their dream of transhuman so-called, avoiding their so-called extinction. Here we have another patrol car on a small dead-end street early in the morning, and we have some racket going on here. I'm literally surrounded on this small dead-end street, and I can hear racket going on down the back. Just watch them patrolling. I'm just gonna leave the camera here right in front where my eyes are. I'm looking in front. That one at least didn't slow up, but it's still patrolling. Now they're patrolling fast. On the road, see, they're patrolling fast now. They're speeding up because they're getting the energy from me. It's like a human has positive energy, and even their negative energy is extremely strong on Sol. So basically they're being powered by me. I'm powering them, not myself. I'm being depleted while they are being powered by me, even the jet aeroplane. Oh, I don't know if I got that in properly. Sorry about that. But you know, these beings, the reason that they're able to extract the energy from me and bring my frequency and vibration down to very low is largely because of their vast numbers. If they didn't have the vast numbers, I would be able to get a break from it. Yes, there's a patrolling jet right in my line of sight, but I will show it, but it won't come out. Maybe you might hear it. Sometimes they come quite close, but usually they are more distant because they know that my eyesight picks it up clearly. Another patroller coming to see, that's the end of the dead end street there, just right in front there. This street ends, you cannot go through. So these are all patrol cars. Look, watch them. There's only a small number of houses on this street, and you know, I'm not going to film the patrollers, the actual people. So I'll let that one. Let it go past. See how we have it flashing its lights? They blink their lights the minute you look at them, but it always looks as though it's natural. But it's not natural because it is actually, because you notice this, and actually it is traffic gaslighting, because it actually does hypnotize you and disorientate you. See how we have all these patrollers? Look, and there's a patroller coming out of the house in front. Literally these houses are just they're allowed access to every house and every shop and every building in Leichhardt because they are part of the Army Force of Australia. See how these cars, look at these cars coming up and down the small dead-end street. A jet overhead. The jet overhead, that is actually definitely an army jet. That's an army jet. It's not a passenger plane, but most of the passenger planes are also patrolling planes. You know, because they're not actually, they're diverting off their actual route. Not that I really know much about the passenger planes, but I know they're patrolling planes because I see them patrolling. Oh, they will probably start up with noise in another half an hour, I'd say. That means with the work programs that are around. But I'm just going to show this traffic car patrol system on this street that's starting up here at this early time. If you know, because like I say, it's a small dead-end street. There's only a few houses along here. There's no reason for all these. Oh, here we have this. See how this truck went in before and now it's pulling out just up the side of where I live here. Can you see that? And it says city on it, you see, because it is actually a city thing. It's a city thing. It's a city thing. And it's, I think it's a city thing. Literally. Patrolling all round. Someone out their house there, someone next door, literally swarming around me, but all hidden. I think they call that hidden, but in plain sight. But it's actually in plain sight. But it all has what you call a. It's not practical. It's not real. But it's too excessive. If it was like a little bit. Anyway, I'll just hold it here. So here. Small. Random. See, they're all random, but they're all not opposite. Where you look, they're literally everywhere. I cannot take it anymore. I'll have to stop. I'm sorry. I cannot keep going. They're actually disturbing me, because I will film a little bit out there, but when they start to come around in excessive numbers on the small dead-end street, it's not like even on the main street where you know that they're patrolling and watching and literally hassling you in a pretend civilian manner, as though they're just walking past. But at least on a main street, you say, well, it's not as intrusive as outside your own place where you are, where it's, it's a small dead-end street, and it's just showing how close they are and how intrusive and how diabolically anti-life and anti-human this transhuman experimental program is on isolated human beings that have no real voice, because it's not like you're insignificant, and they're using your anonymity and your situation, which they've created and set up over time, so that they can test out the transhuman implants, see how a human being reacts to it whilst taking the life from you. And it's very hard to explain it, but it's a perfect setup, and it is actually, it's human experimentation, in the sense that although all this technology already exists, it's not openly accepted out in the open, and so they're using human beings And when I say human beings, I mean particular human beings, because really, you're just a human being. But the reason that it sounds particular is because they have eliminated quite a lot of the real human race, or the natural human beings. And even I'm not 100% natural woman, shall we say, because you are technically, through their implementation of direct energy and even mind control conditioning as to who and what you are. And there's a lot of medicine and medical intervention. This all is taken place so that, but you're still not an android, and you're still not, you are not a demigod androgyne. You're not a demigod androgyne disciple of Lucifer's human mind control matrix. That's what it is. But it's just that some people are more mind controlled than others. Like, I'm more mind controlled than some humans, or more transhuman mind control than some others, because of the technology that is being employed against me, and that is in me and is connected to their computer internet systems. But it's also connected to the actual beings. So